And all to the Sinking City Necronomicon Edition. This is our first broadcast of this, and it's going to be a blind playthrough. So let's get in and take a look at this. Make sure. Make sure the mixer's all nice and good. Let's just jump right into it. Frosty, welcome, dear Charles Reed. As you have requested, I've researched the outbursts of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont. Mass. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours, a city drowning, the presence of something great yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment, and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself, then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Jonas Vanderberg. Don't do drugs, kids. I knew I shouldn't have had the lobster pit. Oh, I think there was some acid in the last tab of acid. This doesn't look good. You know, generally speaking, ships are supposed to be above the water. Yeah, I stand by my initial comment of don't do drugs, kids. I'd like to put that in my inventory, please. Can I has the pistol? There we go. I just had to press A about a dozen times there.
Never trust a tourist advertisement. Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Well, it is waiting for us. However, the question is do we really want what's waiting for us? Can we... Okay. There we go. Aye, Cthulhu Fhtagn.
Now get out! Now get out!
How about I fucking knock you upside the head with this wrench or whatever I was bashing stuff with?
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes Vanderberg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides
Why do I have
of
this strange
fate will
feeling that
approach
this
you
is like
here
Silent
one
Hill
way
and we're
or
already
another.
dead? Or so insane that this place isn't real?
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature, scion of a robust bloodline, a philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already fettered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
So, the Sinky City is such an open kind of world gameplay that they don't actually mark waypoints on the map for you. They actually expect you to look in your casebook and take notes and mark your own way out, given the addresses that you're given.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly,
How do
something
I know if everything is
suspicious
everything unless
occurred
I
inside
ask?
the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
And you hadn't mentioned a house before when I fucking asked you before.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Nice house you have here. Really, just, you know, fabulous. What's the name of your maid? Oh, no, nothing wrong, just, you know, would like to procure her services for myself.
Let's see what you find, newcomer. Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't
For
kicking
those
anymore, so
of you who aren't
I started fishing.
privy to
That'll
the
starve.
history of Innsmouth, Innsmouth is actually one of the cities / homes of deep Cthulhu mythology. A race known as the I don't know how to put it. 'Cause I don't want to call them the Deep Ones, but those devoted to the Deep Ones live in Innsmouth and breed with them. Deep One blood runs through them, and they tend to be literally what he said. They've called them fish folk. If you've ever played Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, one of the actual first levels of Dark Corners of the Earth actually deals with the Innsmouthers.
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis, we were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and, okay, my head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me,
That sounds familiar. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay have mercy on his soul.
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outside
Makes me think of
respect.
RK.
Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, K stands for fucking RK. God, am I really involved in this kind of
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself.
RK or
Will.
Akare?
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, Kay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some
Then
rest.
again, you know, I'm going off of actual
Afraid of
cult
what I might
mythos
dream.
and stuff like that, so we'll find out if I'm right later.
Choo choo. Ahem.
Wow.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Yeah, probably with that barrel.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. Five cards short of a full house.
Yeah, my guy's
I'm
kind of
surprised they
tripping
don't
out.
have someone's portrait here. Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Yeah, that
Sounds
looks
like
like an
Prohibition
Innsmouth
hasn't
mouth.
affected
Or
Oakmont too
knife.
much.
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebheil, Nukulena, Haften.
Oof. Yeah, about that.
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
What's happening?
Okay, let's see.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Okay. Sorry, I can't see part of my screen because of the... Alright, so we've got that done. Oh, hero tax. I don't know why they didn't put him on the fucking first floor bedroom. Jumped out from up there. Probably down onto that broken crate.
I've said everything I know.
What? There was somebody right there. Holy shit. Okay, he did say that the... where he washed up on the beach was to the left. I don't see any life raft. Maybe it meant left facing the house? Oh, a bunch of Cthulhu Fhtagn, if you ask me.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
I hope somebody finds this. My name is Albert Throgmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you, don't go to the depths below Oakmount. There's unreadable. We should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that cave. Professor Blank, I fear that will become of, I fear what will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids. Every time I close my eyes, unreadable. The cycle goes on and on and on, and on and on. Unreadable. In the end it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father, unreadable. He's here. Yeah, I Cthulhu Fhtagn. I'm supposed to be able to track this guy with my paranormal senses now.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer, and keep your hands where I can see them.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
My head! I still hear those voices.
So that's what an Innsmouther looks like. So that's what it is.
Join in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us. Join in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us.
Okay, that's my shovel. That's my quick menu. There we go.
So, even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Looks like we'll have to go around the side. Lewis, please just give me 1 week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with the fuzz snooping about the port. But don't worry, I struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have a steady supply channel soon. Just 1 more week, I'll return everything with double interest pieces. Starting to think that H may stand for hooch.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have gotten far.
Oop. Any more?
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. One fatal round through the forehead.
Yeah.
That's no accident. This was deliberate.
The hell? Oh. Yeah, I got a feeling I know how this fucking turned out. Well, that's a stairway leading to nowhere. See, I'd be opening that cash register like, hello, hero tax. So now, where is the bar? Apparently I missed something at the lifeboat.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it? Choo-choo. Ahem. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. Never seen knives like this before. So that's what an Innsmouther looked. So that's what an Innsmouth.
Missing some kind of evidence here. Said the bar was this way.
Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure. Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember.
I prefer my trench shovel over a bullet, because bullets are few and far between.
Unless you're a newcomer.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Throck. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him, once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
Let's go upstairs and bust his face in with a frickin' shovel, shall we? Though, we'll equip our gun just in case. They'll probably go flying out through there.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private
Yeah, he's an
investigator.
Innsmouther, okay?
Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Drach. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape
frickin'
to our
Innsmouther,
house.
all right. Fuck.
He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out I was right.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
I want to ask him why he looks like that, but I know why he looks like that, according to Cthulhu Mythos.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family.
I ain't fucking having no mercy on
Without
no
me,
fucking
they'll starve.
Innsmouther. I fucking tell you that much right now.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
You know, it could go either way. But a bullet in the directly in the center of his dome, strung up like that, I don't buy the hysteria. Yep. Whether he was dangerous or not, the guy fucking fled. And the frickin' Innsmouther started shooting right from the get-go. Like I said, even if all that is from the hysteria, the point-blank bullet to the head, followed by being strung up, isn't.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
And just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family, and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Gay to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture. A sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster?
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
Fun, fun. Wonder what information I missed there. But for now, that is the Sinking City. I'm gonna go ahead and save here. A couple of different times. And we will continue this another time. Till then, this has been Valkyr 1. And thank you for joining.